And here we have the knobs on the field right now. So PaperBaG's knobs temporarily unchallenged on the field, but we can see another squad of knobs coming out right now. These gentlemen, of course, very heavy infantry, wielding chainsaw axes, which I always think is one of the more hilarious, iconic pieces of orc technology right there. Why not swing a chainsaw at something in the form of an axe? Pretty big, beefy guys there. We'll have to see how he's going to plan on using them. You can see already going to go ahead and get meaner and greener, upgrading his even more. And take a look towards the center. We can see that it looks like the tank busters getting interrupted a little bit, trying to capture that point. Going to have to retreat away, perhaps. And taking a little bit of damage there, giving a little bit of damage. It's all good. Anyhow, taking a look around the map right now, and we can see that the pressure is on as PaperBaG does have 2-to-1 control over the victory points right now. It's 165 to 261 for illonexxx. illonexxx, again, he needs to not only continue winning these fights, but he actually needs to continue getting time to cap that point. Because basically, when you're in an ebb and flow situation like this, where one guy wins and takes control, the other counterattacks, wins, takes control, and it just keeps going back and forth, it really comes down to who controls it the most frequently, or at least for the longest duration in between those little pushes right there. Because no player has really maintained solid control over this point ever. They've just kind of incidentally picked it up after winning a battle, but then never been able to defend it. So it's really kind of up in the air there. The first player to really hold on to it, and win on the defense could very easily win this game. So we'll have to see. The tank busters again firing, unfortunately being interfered quite a bit here by this scenery. Gonna have to back away from combat a little bit there. We can see it looks like the knob squads are just gonna get charged up and run in there. Oh God, you guys gonna go for it or what? Maybe. Looks like everybody's just completely ignoring them, though. So it's going to take quite a while for that to pan out. You can see the weird boy coming up here. But unfortunately, a little bit of back capping going on right now. So again, double Stormboy squad capping that point. And now we even see that illonexxx's knobs have been upgraded to have the huge hammers ability. So going to be seeing a lot of beatdowns coming from the melee squad there. Would certainly help PaperBaG to have his own big, huge hammers there. But none of that for the time being. A little bit of warg, or could it be call the boys going on there? I always have a hard time distinguishing all the orc abilities. I do see those little jets coming down from the sky, so perhaps we have some of that going on right now. But man, the buffs are up. All of these gentlemen are slugging away at one another. You can see the huge hammers knobs are coming right around here to the side, getting ready to get in there and get some momentum on some of these gentlemen. Boom! You can see warp vomit going off everywhere. We've got stomps going off. The Warboss right now is doing his best to kind of slug away. He has been upgraded to have a boss pole right now. Just a big, fat, green, mean pile of orcs right now, beating the heck out of each other. Right now you can see that these Knob Squad are just doing a lot of damage right now with their huge hammers. Having no problem right now slugging through all of these gentlemen. Looks like it's just knob on knob brutality right now. illonexxx coming in here with the rest of his Storm Boys. Storm Boys on top of everybody. This Warboss is just in the middle of the action, continuing to get off special attacks, continuing to be backed up by his own knobs and whatnot. There's still tons of troops out here right now. It looks like PaperBaG's own Knob Squad was able to pick up the huge hammers during the middle of all of that, or at some point slightly before it, and they're just continuing to whack away at each other. Lots of momentum on these knobs right now. The Storm, it looks like the Weird Boy is doing his best just to kind of zod away at any troops he can find, but you can see that even the Mech Commander is setting up down here trying to suppress everybody. Looks like I'm trying to see who's winning in terms of knobs right now. It's 3 knobs on one side, 4 knobs on the other. So illonexxx staying on top of his knobs, perhaps calling in the boys there during the middle of that. Kind of hard to tell sometimes, but you can see the momentum just going around all of these knobs right now, slugging away at each other, and it looks like PaperBaG is maybe just going to have to get out of there with his knobs, so it's just the Warboss right now, hanging out right now. PaperBaG's Warboss fighting his best, and bam! We have that nice little stomp coming out of the Warboss, and unfortunately, he is going to have to retreat for the time being. Looking up to the north, once again, we can see while all of that was going on, it looks like the tank busters from illonexxx wrecking away at the power generators, once again, continuing to be very annoying. 2 shooters remaining from his original 3, and 1 shooter remaining for illonexxx here. Everybody's Slugger Boys were killed. 1 Storm Boy squad surviving here, so at least 1 was taken down during that, and both Knob squads survived right there. So it's kind of interesting here. This is going to be the 2nd Storm Boy squad being produced right now for PaperBaG again, so you can see he really, really values having that melee advantage late game. He's going to have to do something with that, but you can see illonexxx, that was a pretty huge victory here. A lot of the fights that we've been seeing so far have been just kind of skirmish for a little bit, then retreat, skirmish for a little bit, retreat. That was the first battle where everybody actually stuck it out for a while and risked losing units here. However, we can see that during all of this, or at least after all of that, it looks like the Shooter Boys from PaperBaG came up here to try and capture some of this stuff. But honestly, they have nothing to say to a Knob squad running around with huge hammers. Especially not when backed up here by this Mek commander, and he is just firing away right now with this def gun. I love the animation of that thing. It's just so chaotic when he fires it. By the way, he does have the super tough beam, and man, check out once again, we've got the choppas being used on Storm Boys right now, kind of charging in on top of everybody here. Just a massive orc pileup right now. We've got the knobs who have been upgraded, along with the Warboss right now, and the user choppa Storm Boys. Just a lot of massive melee here. That was actually really killer right now. Just look at the size of the squads right now for illonexxx. That was very unfortunate. He took a lot of casualties right there. And at the moment here, PaperBaG is very strong. I keep losing track. I know that Call the Boys is being used quite a bit here, and I always lose track of that one. But undoubtedly, we've been seeing a little bit of resupply coming out of that as well. And it looks like while I was looking away here, perhaps at the very end of the last bit of that, I was trying to look around to see where that happened exactly. It looked like illonexxx lost his last Storm Boy squad, so that is huge. Right now, you can see that the Weird Boy and the Storm Boys are all an advantage right now for PaperBaG. So man, and plus having the extra Shooter Boy squad. So taking a look down south here, we can see just a little bit of resupply going on in base. Very healthy, big-looking army right now for PaperBaG. He definitely has sort of a late-game advantage going on right now. The Warboss trying his best to kind of shoot these boys, but the Shooter Boys have got a better idea about how to handle that, and he's going to have to go ahead and retreat right now. So even though all that's going on, I love that this was the first time that PaperBaG actually grabbed this victory point on his opponent's side of the field. But he's just barely hanging in there. You can see it's 61 points right now for PaperBaG, 210 for illonexxx. PaperBaG needs to start capping points if he's going to stay in this game right now, and he's having a really hard time holding on to that northern point. As I mentioned before, sitting on top of that with a def gun, Mek Boy, and a bunch of huge hammers knobs is a great way to just finally take control over that. So illonexxx doing a really good job staying on top of that, but you can see Storm Boys charging in, perhaps even trying to grab that victory point during the middle of all of this. Knob squad, however, backed up, just kind of charging in right now, and it looks like the Knob squad for illonexxx is starting to take a lot of damage. We can see that super tough beam was just used on them right there. And also we have Call the Boys coming in. Once again, you can see them getting reinforced on the battlefield. We just have so many orc abilities being used in rapid succession here. It looks like the Mek Boy just blinking on out of there before he takes too much damage, getting away at like 27 hit points. Boom! Nice looking downtown shot coming from the Weird Boy as well here. Storm Boy's hacking away. Knobs just kind of hacking away up here. Looks like PaperBaG Storm Boy is going to have to retreat here before it gets too late. But we can see his Knob squad is still going with full momentum right now, kind of slugging away at all the rest of illonexxx's guys. And you can see the Warboss right now is just going to, boom, use that stomp ability once again, knocking back this Knob squad, which has been reduced to just 2 troops right now. Looking really brutal right now. Let's see if he can get away. He's got one. Oh my god, this Knob is so close. I really thought that last melee hit would do it. But it looks like the Knobs are just going to be able to get away right in time. You can see the Warboss here being suppressed just a little bit using that aiming what's that ability from the Shooter Boys just to kind of keep this army from moving too far. But take a look around the map right now. We can see the Tank Busters were trying their best to cap this point. Instead, they only managed to decap it. Now going to take some losses on the run home right now as they have to run straight through some Knobs. Knobs going to take a couple good swings right there, and oh, killing 2 models right off the bat while the rest of them get out of there. Ooh, look at that. That's violent. Over here on the right-hand side, the Warboss once again trying to cap this vital victory point in front of illonexx's base. illonexxx he has plenty of breathing room right now, 210 points versus 48. So really, he just needs to keep random ninja capping right now. Random ninja caps basically will lose the game, well, win the game for him, and will force PaperBaG to have to deal with that. So 48 points, though. Not a lot left on the clock for PaperBaG. However, he is threatening a triple cap right now. Check it out right now. We do have double Knobs on the field for illonexxx. That's a very dangerous position to be in. He's very deadly in melee combat, but double Knobs and Tank Busters is kind of an impotent fighting force. They're very slow, and it's hard to kind of get them where they need to be. They really need an army to back them up. So, as you can see, a single Weird Boy can sometimes just kind of deal with an entire Knob squad here. So, illonexxx, not very mobile at all right now with the exception of his Mek commander. So, he's going to have to start capping stuff. We can see right now the Tank Busters have been relegated to capping duty, just kind of taking control of their victory points. But with the triple cap, he is bleeding out very fast. We can see that it looks like illonexxx is just kind of hanging around at 137 points right now. The Mek commander setting up I'm not sure why he set up right there. Perhaps he was just stopping for a sec, but you can see he is in some serious danger right now. He knows he needs to guard this point with his life. He's trying to cap it right now. The knobs are getting ready to move in. Only one of them has huge hammers. The Mek Commander, though, has to bail out. He's not going to be able to cap that point. He's near 100 points right now, and now we can see the knobs are just going to kind of slug away at all of these gentlemen. And we do have knobs on this side for PaperBaG, and PaperBaG is going to lead things off, it looks like, with his Storm Boys, perhaps. It looks like we're still waiting to see if he's actually going to engage or not here. The Mek Commander trying his best to decap that point. He does decap it. The score is currently tied 1-1, and now it looks like everybody has fully committed right now. This is just a humongous pile of knobs beating the hell out of each other with hammers right now. We can see a wide variety of orc abilities are being used on top of all of this. I detect Call the Boys. I detect Hard Boys, perhaps. Just a lot of humongous abilities going off in the middle of all of this right now. We can see here we've got a little bit of downtown shots coming from the tank busters right there. The Warboss here doing his best to kind of disrupt everybody. We even have some suppression coming out of the Shooter Boys down on this side of the battlefield right now. Use Your Choppas coming on the field right now for PaperBaG, and it's just a humongous epic battle right now. Everybody's slugging away at each other. We can see resupplying troops coming in the middle of all of this, so Call the Boys was definitely activated in some way, shape, or form, although it is too chaotic to tell for sure. But just looking at the army card down here, we can see that illonexxx is losing everything, and in the middle of all of that, PaperBaG just pulls it out with the win. In what looked like a combination of Use Your Choppas and Call the Boys, something to that effect. Possibly Hard Boys in the middle of that as well. So man, PaperBaG was just able to seal the deal right at the end, and that's oftentimes what these big mirror matches come down to. And a lot of people disagree with me on this. I love mirror matches because even in this case, they didn't exactly build the same thing. But the best mirror matches are where people are just doing the things identically, but just the little advantages they get throughout the game kind of snowball into one big victory right at the end. And that's exactly what we saw here. So congratulations to PaperBaG and to illonexxx, both players, fine players indeed. If you guys enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe. Once again, I am Harlequin. You've been watching HarlequinCasts, and I will see you guys next time.